Welcome engineers, race have a problem. Today's problem is I need to get closer to my mic. Where's my mic? Where's new phone? Which one's actually recording? Is it both of them? Seems like both of them. I'll go for the bottom one. Anyway. Preseason testing, and today's a little bit different. Technically I don't even need to make this video, but I'm going to anyway. So what I did in pre-season testing was take all the parameters in the setup, take them to each extreme, and note how they made the car feel. Yeah, in hindsight, I didn't need to do this, and I realised that pretty quickly afterwards. So anyway, I'm going to go straight into it. Aerodynamics. First up, 0-0 wings, no grip, more so understeer. Makes sense. 0-50 understeer, again makes sense. 50-0 oversteer, makes sense. And 50-50 stable. I might need to point out to you that this was done at Barcelona, you know, the testing circuit for F1. I still think it's Barcelona. I don't think Bahrain should be it, especially now that Barcelona's getting taken off the calendar. Transmission, 50-50. Mid-speed instability. Okay. 50-100. Kind of make low speed understeer. Sorry, kind of makes sense because off roll 100 locked. Kind of makes sense. 150 high speed understeer was a bit weird. 100 low speed unresponsive. So yeah. Suspension geometry. Front and rear camber. First, -3.5, -2. High speed oversteer. I feel like I'm just listing stuff out at this point. I don't even need to say any of these really. -3.5, -1, stable. Which I have found not to be the case in many of the setups. Unless I'm looking at the wrong set. Not yet, not in many of the cases of the setups I've used and made and found. -2.5, -2, low speed turn in, high speed understeer. And -2.5, -1, understeer high speed, not flat. Then we can move on to the toe. 0 and 0.1. Low speed, low to medium speed understeer. 0 and 0.3, nice turn in, especially at low speed. 0.1 and 0.1, feels good, turn in, feels very good. And lastly, 0.1 and 0.3, poor responsiveness, cold tyres. Yeah, some of these were probably a bit misguided. I think I went into this thinking how it should feel, and it kind of affected my output, which is very annoying, and I'll try not to do it again. However, I mean, what the F1 game really needs is just a complete randomizer button. Just press any random button and just pick a setup. Okay, maybe it doesn't have to be with just parameters. Do it with like setups on the leaderboard. That would make brilliant sense, and it'd be so good, because that's what they do in real life on the simulators. They do a bunch of setups to ask you how it feels, without even telling you the downforce level or how it's supposed to feel. Whereas what I'm doing, I know how it's supposed to feel, so yeah, it doesn't work. Next up we have the suspension, then this proper suspension. 1.1 understeer, more so high speed. 141 medium speed oversteer, high speed understeer. 41.1 stable, which in hindsight I said was wrong. Yeah, reading books and several stuff later is more how it should have been. 41, bit of understeer, bit of oversteer. Anti-roll bars, 1.1, high speed understeer. 121, bit of low speed understeer. 21.1, too good turn in. And then 21, stable. Ride height, 30, reluctant to turn in high speed, which makes sense. Because no downforce, because Venturi tunnels, etc. 30-50, reluctant to turn in low speed and high speed. 50-30, very reluctant to turn in. And 50-50 understeer. Because while high volume, it also gives high leakage, which means no downforce at all. Coming on to the final 4 parameters then. Brake pressure. 80, extended brake zones, no locking up. 100, shortened brake zone, and if you pour, some locking up. Front brake bias. 70, instability under braking, because it's not sure why that is. I can't remember. This was done what? Well, the last video was done 5th of August, so this must have been 6th of August. Maybe 7th of August. Front brake biased 50, unstable rear under braking. Finally, the tyre pressures. I realised when I said 4, there was 6 parameters to go. Front left and front right. 22-22, understeer medium speed. I should have said right and then left, because now it's 22-25 and it was stable, which I found really weird. However, it's probably because it's a right-hand circuit. 25-22, understeer turning right. And 25-25, it felt fine. 20-20 for the rears, rear right and rear left. High speed understeer. 20 and 23, stable. 23 and 20, understeer turning right. And 23-23 felt fine. For how long did I use many of these stuff? Not long. And even when I did go back to making setups, I just ignored any of these basically and just played with the setup, see what felt good. Anyway, that's pre-season testing done. Not long till the first race of the season. Let's get into it. Do I normally have an outro? Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you whenever you decide to join me again. Bye!